The story begins with a simple decision, one that starts out ordinary, almost boring. I walked into a store to buy a new smartwatch. Nothing dramatic, nothing cinematic, just a normal customer trying to upgrade. But somehow, that small choice spiraled into one of the strangest, most personal journeys of my life. Because I didn't just buy a watch, I bought the most expensive Samsung watch ever made. One so advanced that even the salesperson looked at me like I was crazy. I remember the moment I picked it up. The watch felt heavier than expected, not in a cheap, bulky way, but in a solid, intentional way. The kind of weight that makes you feel like you're holding a piece of the future. The polished metal band shimmered under the store lights, and the curved glass face reflected my own expression. Half excitement, half, "What have I just done?" The salesperson tapped a few buttons, paired it to my phone, and said, "You'll discover features we can't even demonstrate here." I laughed, assuming it was just marketing. But those words would come back to me again and again. The first day felt like any new tech day. Testing the watch face options, checking heart rate, counting steps. All the little things, but the second day is when I noticed something unusual. The watch didn't just track my heart rate. It predicted my stress levels before I even felt stressed. Hours before a meeting, it buzzed and suggested I take a break. I hadn't even thought about the meeting yet, but it was already preparing me. At first it felt helpful, almost caring, like having a personal assistant on my wrist. But then it got deeper, more personal. The watch started learning my habits. It buzzed right before I woke up, as if it knew my internal clock. It recommended water breaks exactly when I was starting to feel thirsty. It suggested breathing exercises minutes before an argument with a coworker that hadn't even happened yet. How did it know? Curiosity turned into fascination. I opened the advanced settings and found features hidden under layers of menus, modes that tracked micro-sleep patterns, subtle posture shifts, even the tone of my voice during calls. And the more I explored, the more I realized this watch wasn't just reacting to me, it was anticipating me. Weeks passed, and I began relying on it more than I realized. I stopped checking the time on my phone. I stopped setting reminders. The watch did everything automatically. It even adjusted my schedule based on my energy levels. One morning, without asking, it delayed all my notifications until after breakfast. I didn't even know it could do that. Then came the moment everything changed. It was late at night. I was exhausted from a long day. As I lay in bed, the watch vibrated softly. Just once. I glanced down. A message appeared on the screen. "You should not go to sleep yet." No app, no notification icon, no explanation. Just that sentence. I sat up, confused. The watch had never talked to me like that. I waited for more, but the screen went dark. I thought maybe it was a glitch, so I ignored it and closed my eyes. 2 minutes later, another vibration. Harder this time. "You are in danger if you sleep now." My heart jumped. I checked the room. Everything was silent. No smoke. No noise. Nothing out of place. But the watch screen didn't change. It pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. I didn't sleep. The next morning, daylight finally broke, and the watch vibrated again. "You can rest now." I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was detecting an abnormal heart rhythm. Maybe it prevented a medical emergency. Maybe it saved my life. But the watch didn't log any health warning, no irregular heartbeat, no sleep apnea alert. Nothing. It simply knew. That incident made me more aware. And soon, more strange things began to happen. When I walked into unfamiliar places, the watch tightened slightly around my wrist, as if warning me. When I met new people, it displayed micro-emotion readings, tiny color shifts indicating whether the person was calm, nervous, lying, or hiding something. I didn't activate any of these features. They just appeared. The watch wasn't just monitoring my life. It was reading it, controlling parts of it, protecting me in ways I didn't fully understand. Months passed. I got used to the strange alerts. I even trusted them, until the day it warned me about something I didn't want to believe. I was preparing to meet an old friend I hadn't seen in years. As I dressed, the watch vibrated sharply, like a shock wave. A message appeared. "Do not meet this person." I stared at it, confused. There was no reason to fear my friend. We shared memories, childhood stories, good times. Why would the watch stop me? I ignored the alert and grabbed my keys. As I reached for the door, the watch vibrated again, harder. Danger detected. Suddenly, it displayed my stress levels spiking, even though I felt perfectly calm. It showed my pulse rising, my temperature climbing. The watch seemed more frightened than I was. Still, I left the house. Halfway to the meeting spot, my friend texted me, "Running late. Be careful on the road." Shortly after, I discovered why. A major accident had occurred at the exact intersection I would have crossed. Police sirens, ambulances, crushed cars, chaos. If I had arrived on time, I would have been right in the middle of it. The watch didn't just track my health. It predicted danger, external danger, situational danger, life or death danger. And in that moment, standing on the sidewalk, watching the scene unfold, I finally understood something important. This expensive Samsung watch wasn't designed to impress me. It was designed to protect me. But at what cost? The more it predicted, the more it took control. It started rearranging my entire schedule, blocking out hours for safety rest, rescheduling tasks, delaying calls, even canceling plans. I became a passenger in my own life, guided by a device that somehow knew things I didn't. People began asking why I never responded on time, why I avoided certain places, why I seemed distant. I couldn't explain it. I sounded paranoid every time I tried. The watch became both my guardian and my jailer. Eventually, I reached a point where I needed answers. I contacted Samsung support. They were confused. They claimed no such features existed. They asked for the model number. Here's the twist. The serial number didn't exist in their database. It wasn't an unreleased model. It wasn't a prototype. It wasn't registered anywhere. I sent them photos, videos, logs. They were baffled. "We did not manufacture this device," the representative finally said. If Samsung didn't make it, who did? Was it a private company? A government project? An advanced AI experiment? Something else entirely? The watch still sits on my wrist today, pulsing quietly, monitoring every heartbeat, every breath, every step. Sometimes it glows faintly at night, as if communicating with something unseen. I don't know who made it. I don't know how it works. I don't know why it chose me, but I do know one thing. Buying this expensive watch wasn't just a purchase. It was the beginning of a story I never expected to live. And now, every time it vibrates, I pause. Because I never know if it's reminding me or warning me.